Hi everyone, and welcome back to the next lesson of our Java course. So in this lesson, I'm going to talk about very interesting topic, which are the keywords in Java. All right. Now the basic or the fundamental question is, what are keywords and why we call them as a keywords, right? So think of keywords as a special reserved words in Java that have a predefined meaning, which means their meanings are already built into your JVMs or your compiler, and your compiler or your JVM or a JRE understand those in a specific ways. All right, and these will be the building blocks for your code. Uh, right, so you will be keep on using these keywords throughout your programming. All right. Uh, and when we say the reserve keyword, what it means is you cannot use these keywords while naming your variables or you are naming your methods or your classes, right? If you remember, we talked about how to name your variables, right? But you cannot use the keywords as a or you cannot use these keywords while naming your variables. All right. So let's take a one simple example on those one. If you remember, when in our data types, we said, how do I define a data type, or how do I tell my compiler that, hey, I want to store an integer value in a variable, right? For example, let's say int, and then I have a number which is equal to 10. So this is the simple statement where you are basically saying, I want to store a variable of type int, variable name is number, and the value is gonna store as a 10. All right. So in this case, int is your keyword. All right. There are so it basically tells the compiler that it's basically when you're declaring it, right? You are telling the compiler or the JVM that you're going to store the integer value. So this has a predefined meaning, okay? Okay. And that is reserved in Java. So you cannot use it to name your variable. For example, you cannot say something like that double int is equal to 10.4. This is not gonna work because this is your keyword. It's a reserved word, so you cannot use it. All right. Now, as of today's, when I'm recording this lesson, we have close to 67 different keywords in Java. And remember, this is not the static list. It keep on changing. At some point there was, I think, 45, then it went to 57, now it's 67. So with every release, major release in Java, they probably will keep on adding a few additional reserved word. All right. And when it comes to these keywords, right, on a high level, I think you can probably define those into 5 different categories. Okay. So number one is you can categorize as a data types. If you remember, right, we talked about the data types. So for example, int, double, all these are the keywords in Java. So you can put them as part of the data types. Then we have the control statement. Some of the keywords falls into this category. For example, we have if, we have else, then we have for loops. I'm going to talk about those ones. So these are the another categories. Then we have something like modifiers. Okay. So modifiers define the visibility of our code. For example, it is private, which is only for me. It is public and something like that, right? So you can put those into some of the keywords you can put into this category. Then we have the exceptions. Okay, I'm going to talk about this one, but you can put some of the keywords into these categories, and then rest of them probably you can say others. All right. So let's go back to our editor and we'll take a closer look on some of these keywords. And while we are going through these lessons, we will keep on revisiting these keywords when we kind of focusing on specific keywords which are probably have a more relevance or more usability than the other keywords in Java. All right. All right. So as we said right earlier, there are a number of different type of keywords. For example, boolean, right? If you want to declare a boolean value, and I will say boolean flag, okay, is equal to true. So in this case, you see boolean, this is a keyword in Java. What it means, it has a special meaning for the JDK. And as I said earlier, if you try to use boolean as your variable name, it's not gonna work. For let's say int boolean is equal to 10, is it gonna work? No. If you see right now, it's telling me that there is an identifier which is expected, because it's not taking it as an identifier. It still understand boolean as a keyword. So for compiler perspective, it's still a keyword. It's saying since you have declared a data type, you have to probably define a variable name for those one, right? The only exception in this case is if you add something, for example boolean val, it's gonna work. So a keyword as such cannot be used as a variable name, or you cannot use keyword as part of your class name or your method's name, right? But if you append some other values, it's gonna work for those one. All right. Similarly, you can have, for example, char. This is another keyword. Char is another keyword. All right. If you see here, public, this is another keyword. When you work onto these editors, most likely all these keywords will have a different color conventions, just to give you an idea that hey, these are the different sort of keywords, right? If you see here, this one has a different color, right? And if I use here, it will say, let's say flag. Okay, it changed the value because we are using it, but all the keywords in your editor, and it might be different on a different editors, but you will, whatever editor you're gonna use it, you're gonna get that information. But these editors are smart enough, they're gonna tell you, okay, these are the sort of keywords in Java. Similarly, we have a few other keywords. For example, if I use a control statement, which is if, right? And then I can write something else on this one. All right. So all these things are keywords in Java. Okay. And as I said earlier, throughout your journey, your programming journey, keywords are the core building block for your entire program. You're gonna create the classes. I'm gonna talk about those one. That is, start with the keywords. You have to define the visibilities. For example, this public, right? This define the visibility. This is again a keyword, right? Data types in itself is keywords. Then we're gonna talk about loops and other things. They are also built around these keywords and other things. So make sure you understand what is the use of the keywords, number one. Number two, there are certain restrictions, as I said earlier. You cannot use these keywords for other things because again, they are reserved. They have a specific meanings for a compiler, for a JVM, for a JRE, right? So in most of the cases, your compiler will not is gonna force you gonna enforce these rules to you, which means the compiler will make sure you are not kind of using it into the wrong way. But still, we should be clear what are these keywords and other things. All right, this was a short topic, but I want to really cover it because in many cases we just forget about this small, but in my opinion, this is actually a very important topic, right? So if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon. If you have any question related to this article or this video or any of my previous videos, please drop a comment and I will be more than happy to answer your questions. Thanks for watching this, and I will see you into the next video. Till then, happy coding.